thank you again for letting me observe. I really appreciate it. And I feel like I'm learning so much about just what other people do, and even in class have been able to say stuff like, you know how you do in math, da, 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 da. So that's been really cool. Yeah, that's been cool. But so the lesson I watched was you did another math workshop,
Okay.
and you had instead of doing the small group, you had the flipped lesson,
Yes.
so that you could work with the kids on
Right.
the
Okay.
hands-on one.
I remember that.
Okay.
It's even though it wasn't that long ago, you know, it's
This-
like so much happens between.
Yeah,
that.
this has been a weird week too.
Okay.
So thinking back on that, what did you think was best? What did you like most about that lesson? How do you think it went?
I liked. Okay, so I like doing that flip lesson on that one just because we were just introducing fractions, and so I didn't really know where the kids were, and so it was a basic kind of third grade level lesson that I had given them, just to kind of give them that the basics down again and make sure they knew it. And then I paired that up at the IXL for a third grade skill, a fourth grade skill, and a fifth grade skill. And after looking at like what they did on the IXL, I was pleased that I did that because I took for granted that they knew a lot of things that they really didn't. And so had I just jumped in on fifth grade lesson, that would have lost a lot of them. So that kind of gave them a background. Plus it got to let me see where exactly they were, because I just assumed they had it. But we changed curriculums last year, so there were some gaps where things that had gotten pushed down that didn't get taught and that kind of thing. So that really helped me there. Also, the kids in the hands-on group were doing a long division, if I remember correctly, a long division
It was that
skill.
game.
Yes, and it was with a skill, and so they had to do a lot of mental math, and so getting them to see to break apart the dividend. And so that was helpful for me to be able to kind of go over there and see where they were struggling and to kind of guide them more than I could if I were sitting right here. So it freed me
Yeah,
up.
for sure. How did they do that when the kids were doing the flipped lesson in the IXL? Weren't they filling out the little
They were.
self-evaluation chart? How did that go?
I didn't know how that would go because I thought they might. Kids this age don't want to be seen as not knowing something, so I thought that I would get all smiley faces because they had a choice of, you know, smiley face, straight face, or sad face depending on the level of difficulty for them. And honestly, they were very reflective because they said, you know, third grade was really easy, fourth grade was like tears in the eyes kind of smiley sad face, and then fifth grade evened out for them. So they were honest.
Yeah.
With their reflections on it, so that worked out really well, and I think I'll do that again, using a new strategy that we learned at a workshop we had where they kind of judged our levels of learning, and so it was along those lines, but now I can put more vocabulary to that. So.
Yeah, very cool. Well, that was one of the things that I wanted to commend you on. So, because of my training, we're doing the T-test, which is the public school like evaluation rubric. So that's kind of what I've been looking at. And how it works is all teachers kind of start on proficient and move either way. And one of the things I've noticed about both the lessons I've seen is you're really strong in the planning dimension and the ability for students to set goals, reflect, evaluate, hold each other accountable. I see that a lot in the groups they work in. That how you have like a leader that answers questions, and I thought that the way they evaluated themselves on IXL was awesome. And that how you're incorporating so many different resources and different activities, technology in all different ways. I think that's really cool.
Thank you.
And the other thing I really wanted to, that really jumps out again that we talked about last time too, is just how the kids know the routine. And I think that those are, you know, it's so effective, and they have that leadership. They just go and do it and problem solve, and it's really cool to see. And I know that takes a lot of time. We talked about that last time too, but I saw it again. I thought that was really awesome.
Thank you.
How do you decide when you do the questioning part, when you're doing whole group, how do you do your like wait time and deciding who you call on and making sure you balance it out?
I only have 5 boys in the classroom, so I'm really mindful of, you know, not picking all the boys first or all the girls first.
Especially math, yes.
Yeah, especially math, because girls at this age feel like I'm not good at math, I can't do this, and to get them out of that mindset and stuff. And sometimes that wait time can be uncomfortable for the kids, so I kind of just judge like how I see them reacting. If I'm asking something and I can see they're really thinking through it, I'll wait a little bit longer. But sometimes you'll ask and you'll get this deer in the headlight look, and it's just this fear, and you know that the longer you wait, it's just the fear is going to grow.
Sure.
And so I kind of judge based on what I'm seeing from the kids, you know. And I've actually had parents say, please don't call on my child, it makes them feel uncomfortable. And I feel like that, I can't do that. I have to call on every child.
Yeah.
I want to assess where they're at, you know, and if I know a child's uncomfortable, you know, speaking in front of the group, then I'll make sure I'm asking them something I know they can answer and that kind of thing. But again, for wait time, it just kind of depends on what I'm seeing from the kid. I really take cues from what their level of comfortable, you know, how comfortable they are with whatever I'm asking.
Yes.
But I usually try not to trick them. I mean, I'll usually I hopefully ask something that I know they should know.
Yeah.
But you know, in math, sometimes they get that fear. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like sometimes like when I'm doing the tip. I mean, I know how to add. I know how to do all that. You know, you just kind of check yourself. You know what I mean? You're like, people are waiting to see me to hurry up and sign this check, and I'm like, okay, did I do that right? And so I kind of get where they're coming from in that situation.
No, it's the pressure of it. Yes, and that is one thing that I think would be interesting for you to think about doing more of is on the questioning, about asking questions as we move from teacher-centered to student-centered. And I think you're definitely proficient, accomplished in this area, but one thing I think is that you could look into asking more creative, evaluating kind of questions.
Okay.
Balancing some wait time questioning techniques and integration of student responses.
Okay.
And I think it's challenging, because one of the things I really like about your management is how quickly it moves and the kids all know what to do, but maybe finding a balance of some more higher level
thinking.
question thinking, so they can hear each other.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's time in there in that math workshop that's moving so quickly that you can do that?
We'll have to kind of find that also. We have what we call math talk in here, so I'm really trying to encourage more of that during our math workshops. So like I have some starters on the board over there.
Yes.
So, you know, I think you need to try that again because, or I disagree with you because, getting them to think more along those lines versus, no, you're wrong, I'm right kind of thing. So definitely something we're working towards, and definitely trying to encourage more of that higher level thinking is always a goal for, especially in here.
Well,
Because there's so many
challenging
ways to use critical thinking in real life that you have to, you know, encourage that in here as well.
Well, and I think we're all finding they like to have an answer right and be done and move on.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
and then that's part of the challenge of that sort of thinking. And then you have the kids that automatically love to do that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Some that will just keep guessing.
Absolutely.
Yes, for
It's a
sure.
good suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, and I'll look and see if I can find some good like books or online stuff to give you some ideas. But I know that I can incorporate more of it too, because it's the same kind of thing. It's just that move along and going. But I loved seeing it. I loved seeing the flipped lesson. That was really cool, and I like how it kind of freed you up to do other things.
I like that too. I mean, there's times when I feel like we need that small group, but then there's other times where, again, we're just introducing something, so I need to make sure they all are kind of on the same page. And that can be hard in here because we have so many different levels this year. So,
And there's a time difference that you would have more time in other schools to do more of that too. So
for sure.
it makes it more challenging. For sure. Well, thank you so much again, and I loved it, and I it's fun to work with you again because you're willing to try stuff and do stuff different, and I really appreciate it.
Well, I enjoy working with you. I think we
Thanks.
feed off well with
do
each
too.
other and give each other great ideas.
I do
so
too.
I appreciate that.
Well, if you're
feedback.
interested
Thank
in
you.
the T-test rubric, you can have that copy.
Okay, that's perfect.
It's fascinating to look at.
And this is what the public school teachers are using
Yes.
for their evaluations.
Mhm.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.